What's up, guys? It's Tuesday. We got our friend Deez here joining myself and Andy. We're going to chop it up, maybe talk a little Top Shot drama. We got some underdog drafts to rip all tonight on CTS. What is up? We got Andy, we got Deez. Deez, welcome back. I feel like it's been a while since you were in the show here.
Yeah, it's been too long. It's probably been like, what, 6 months?
I think so. Yeah. Last time, I know it's been so long because I think last time I had you on, I used your alien friends avatar on the thumbnail. So that's how I know it was
Must
a
have
while
been
ago.
Quarter 1. That was definitely a quarter
Yeah, that was a bull
one.
market. PFP.
Good times, man. ETH was, yeah.
Well, even when I see like your guys' some of your promotional stuff for We Do a Little and see like Andy's punk, like it's been so long since even Andy has had his punk avatar as his main Abby.
Yeah, I feel like it makes the image a lot more symmetrical and like aesthetic to look at when we both use the punks and then there's like a guest in the middle. It looks off if we put Andy's like boy or something else.
I know. Well, that's what I had to do for the thumbnail tonight. I had to to do you in the middle with the punk, and then I went me and Andy in real life. But how have you been, man? What's have you been holding up? I know you've been absolutely going all in on underdog drafts.
Yeah, I mean, I am not making much money in NFTs, so I'm, figuring out how I can diversify my losing. I'm becoming a deposit king. I'm kind of following your footsteps here, and I'm having a blast. Like the amount of fun that I get for $5, $10, $25 a draft is really ridiculous.
I like that point because everyone always talks about diversifying your winnings, but diversifying your losings is almost even more important, I'd say.
Oh, 100%. It's you can't be all in losing in NFTs right now. Like that feels horrible. You have to have a chance to win at something else. Like even if you know it's negative EV and you're probably going to lose, it's just like you need something not correlated to what you're primarily losing at.
Andy, you're still in Connecticut, it looks like, right?
Yeah, it's still highly illegal for me to participate in underdog best ball. So I've just been betting some degenerate FanDuel same game parlays, and I placed an 8-team 10-point teaser for this upcoming week. So things are going really well, I would say.
Goodness. So you got the single game parlays going, all the Vegas approved parlays, yeah.
Yeah, big time. Well, I will say my fantasy teams though are doing quite well. I'm in a league with D's and some other crypto degens, and according to the Fantasy Pros like team tool thing, which it has its pros and cons. I am the number one ranked power ranked team on the app. I just got a big bump in Melvin Gordon, who was my fourth string running back because of Javonte Williams being out. So feeling good there.
I'm still tilted. Andy, from last year when we drafted that auction team on stream, and it was like the sickest team ever, and it just could not get it done.
Yeah, it just got rugged big time. But yeah, the one team that I have is good, which is good. I honestly fucked up the draft so bad. I just got really lucky, honestly. It was like I was doing 2 drafts at once, and they were both auction drafts, but they were vastly different league mechanics. And so the player values between the two were just they couldn't be more different. And I was going back and forth, wasn't really paying attention, and just totally overbid for Matt Stafford. It's a super flex league, but my second quarterback is Matt Stafford, and I paid 1/5 of my budget for him. And it has not panned out. But fortunately the rest of my team got really lucky.
Well, I feel like I saw you posting a bunch of screenshots of sleeper leagues. How many season-long leagues did you end up in?
Yeah, so I'm in what I would say 6 relatively high value sleeper leagues, and then we have this the auctioners one that we did for a little less, is 0.3 ETH or something. So I'm in 7 that I'm really paying attention to.
Do you think, I feel like Deez, from what I see from you, and obviously you guys are busy building and you're making content with the new podcast and stuff, but it also seems like you're doing a good job staying distracted, having fun, not just staring at a watched pod or whatever. Do you feel like what is your perception of like everyone across the NFT space? Has everyone kind of found their own thing to distract them, or is morale really low in places where people are just still staring so intently at their NFT bags?
Yeah, I would say on my side, I see a good mix of both. I would see like certain communities have popped up recently, like most notably Ranga and Digi. And there's this new one they called Azure Games. But anyway, there's like some new hopeful projects come out. QQL by Tyler Hobbs just came out and did a lot of stuff. Like I'd say the last month or so have been a lot more bullish than like July and August. It seems like there is hope and people are building. I'm also seeing like Terraforms are maybe up to a 1 ETH floor, which is crazy. I feel like they were at half an ETH for forever, but there are definitely certain communities and projects that are doing well. And I think there are other people who haven't found their niche or their groove and are a little more apathetic and still down. But there's definitely good amount of hope.
It did seem to, the bear market coincide very nicely with drafting season and fantasy. It really is a great distraction.
Oh, absolutely. We max entered Best Ball Mania 3, probably going to lose 95% of our money in that. Just absolutely pathetic distribution of like raw. I'm not proud of my choices. Like I'm just looking at like, I don't know, 15, 16% Rondell Moore and just all sorts of shit that's pissing me off. But yeah, it's fun.
It is. I mean, that is the thing. I mean, last year I had a super low advance rate. Uncle Andy actually asking about this in the chat. What's a decent percentage of teams to get into the BBM playoffs? So obviously expectation is, 2 out of 12, 1 out of 6, 1 out that times 150. I think it's 25 would be the baseline expectation out of 150 to get through. Last year, I think had 18 or 19. I was definitely more in like the 14 to 15% advancement range, but all it took was one monster team that got through and climbed all the way to the top there. So I would say don't get discouraged there. And the way I draft, and everyone's drafting styles are different, but heavy on rookies. I loaded up on a lot of the injured and suspended guys. So I always knew my teams were going to get off to slow starts. It all depends on your construction. Let's see here. Andy, what you said you were scoping some Top Shot drama before we hopped on here?
Yeah, so and granted, there's probably people in this chat who have way more context than I do. I was watching Below Deck with Ali and just saw some stuff going down on Twitter. Below Deck Med new season, very entertaining. Highly recommend it. Great way to be distracted during the bear market. But it seems like Top Shot and Dapper released like their season 4 plans. And they had like a call with the VIPs last night on like Discord to like talk to them about stuff. And it seems like generally people just aren't incredibly happy with how it went. We got our man AG, who everyone knows and loves, just on Twitter talking an insane amount of shit, which I always appreciate. He's a lot, but he keeps it real. I don't seem to have that much context as to what about the season 4 drop got people so upset, or like the season 4 plans.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly just that like it kind of felt like a lot of nothing. But I can't really tell. I haven't actually seen too much.
Yeah. I'm just trying to check out some tweets here. I did see some stuff with Jane and people, but I haven't had time to catch up on the thread. So I truthfully don't know what's going on. Although, Andy, another big thing on Top Shot Twitter today was you and MBL, a little sale here. What was the story behind this?
Yeah. He just shot me a DM and he was like, "Hey, do you have a friend and family price for this LeBron MGLE? I have some funds that are locked on the site because of I guess they were like, I don't know. For some reason, he had non-withdrawable funds. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But it was just funny being between myself and NBL. I even actually had another one that went to one of his buddies who also reached out.
I mean, poor MBL, he had something going on tonight. But he does promise us he's gonna get back in the saddle here. Deez, are you sitting on your hands with NFTs, or have you been kind of selling some stuff, accumulating, or where are you at?
I've been trying to harvest things that make sense to harvest, and anything that I have a low cost basis on that, like, if I sell right now, I'm gonna still take a big gain on. I'm not really looking to sell. Like, there's certain
Yeah.
things I paid 25 ETH for when ETH was over 3,000 that I can sell for like 15 ETH now, and then just lock
Right.
in a big loss. And it's like, all right, like I'm doing things like that. I'm also buying art really slowly. I've probably bought like, I don't know, 30 pieces on ETH over the last 3 months, which is slow for me, I guess. Um, so yeah, I just started selling Top Shot moments thanks to Andy. He reminded me that like I'm a fucking idiot for having any of these, and that I should be on here every day, undercutting the floor, doing what it takes to get every penny I can from this platform before it goes all to fucking zero.
Wait, it sounds like you're going more high effort than Andy, which is just accepting offers. You're actually going in
No,
and set
no, I
the
won't
price.
accept offers. Like right now, I'm trying to sell this LeBron James dunk from the finals, Series 1, and like
Yeah.
I just sold one for $1,100, but I have another one, and the offer's like 300. Like I'm not that
Okay.
desperate. Like I'm not slamming that 300 and being like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I'm still
exactly.
like, okay, I'm like, all right, I'll go to 1,100. Okay, I'll go to 1,000. Like I'll just walk it down that way.
Yeah, I guess when you have as many moments as Andy, though, it's a you could probably hire a personal assistant just to list your Top Shot moments, Andy.
I actually, funny enough, our podcast producer, the first time I ever worked with him professionally, yeah, I've known him for a very long time, but back when Top Shot was like doing quite well really early on, I was literally paying him to sell stuff for my account.
There you
Because
go.
I was like, dude, I have so many moments, I don't have the time to do this. Like, and I know I've known him for forever, and so I trusted him to just log into my account and do it for me. I was like, well, you just start selling these, and I'll give you a commission.
What's so funny about that is you think back to, like in the 90s when people had businesses just like flipping shit on eBay, and how you could like hire out to have people to do all your shipping and packaging for you. And then the promise of Web3 was supposed to be how easy and frictionless it is. And if you still have a shit ton of moments, you feel compelled to hire someone to click the buttons for you.
I'm going to be honest, manually Dutch auctioning moments, like a lot of moments that just like don't really have a bid right now where I have no idea what the price is. It's a pain in the ass. It's more work than people probably think.
You literally have to confirm through the Dapper wallet every time. Like I can't just hit a button that says lower price. I'm literally going in, canceling my sell, waiting for the front end of the Top Shot fucking website to update, which takes over a minute, and then listing it again and going through that 2-step confirmation process. Is that the quickest way to relist, or am I an idiot?
Yeah. So so you got to do it in bulk. That's the thing. I think I've really like mastered the bulk transaction interacting with Top Shot experience. I mean, I was doing it forever ago when I was buying a million moments at once, but you gotta just open up an insane amount of tabs and then just do them all at once. And so you like what I'll do is if I'm buying stuff, I'll just open up a ton of tabs and buy. And if I'm selling, I'll open up a bunch of tabs. And I have like a pattern for how I do it. And then I'll go through like each step one at a time for each one. So I'm never like waiting for an individual page. Like by the time I'm done going through my whole bulk set, the ones that I started with have updated to be able to do the next thing.
Yeah, that sounds fucking miserable. It's been this way for like over a year now. Like
it reminds me like of how tedious. There's this guy who was in these dynasty football leagues, and like if you're trying to get a trade done, going and talking to all the individual managers and stuff is so tedious. And what he would do would Dutch auction like his player. Like he would go and be like, I will offer to the person with the 12th pick or the 6th pick. Then I'm going to offer it to the 7th, then the 8th, then the 9th, and whoever accepts it first gets the deal done. I was like, that's genius. I mean, really kind of just expediting everything and saving yourself some time.
Yeah, big manual Dutch auction fan.
I know. I need to try this. All right, let's hop into some underdog drafts. I'm curious, like, Deez, have you been blasting off on everything? Are you more of a battle royale guy? Do you like the kind of 12-person version of it? Where are you at with these contests?
From an ROI perspective, I seem to be a lot better at the like 12, 6, 4, 3-man. But just from like a fun perspective, it's way more fun to just do a bunch of battle royales.
Yeah.
Like it's way more fun to just shoot off 20 to 50 of those than to like grind out the 3, 6 up to 10-mans. But I do a mix.
Yeah.
I like the 12-person drafts more. I don't want to say more. I think I like them more though than the 6-person. I feel like you actually have to like use your brain a little bit more. Like in the 6-person, really the extent of using your brain is just like who's the last player you're going to take as like the flyer, variance pick, and like how do you stack quarterback QB. With the 12-person, I feel like it's a little bit tougher.
It is, yeah. Like the battle royales are fun, and as Deez was saying, so addicting because you can kind of be like, oh, I just want to do this stack this time, and you can get it most of the time. Whereas with the 12-mans, like you can actually get sniped, and you have to think about, I feel like, your positions a bit more. What do you guys want to do? Why don't we do one of the 12-man ones first, and then maybe we could do a couple battle royales. You guys want to do like one of these single entry goal line Hail
Yeah, let's
Mary
do it.
the bomb?
I wish I could play, but I'll instead of just share your screen and I'll watch.
Andy, you can go halvesies with me on mine. We can joint draft on mine.
Deal.
All right. Which one am I joining here?
Do you want to do the 25 or the 50?
I'm down for anything.
Let's do the Hail Mary. Let's do the 50. Let's see if we can get a crew.
If it will fill.
I mean, Deez, we're gonna get this filled.
The Hail Mary is my favorite contest, and I haven't done any research this week, so I'm gonna draft like shit. But I think it's like the most fair tournament on Underdog, or like the most. I don't know if fair is the right word, but like I like that it's single entry. It's for a big amount, but then the entry, like there's only 560 whatever entrants, so it feels feasible. It's tangible. It's not like.
I can lie to myself and say that I might.
Yeah, like this is plus EV right here. Like this isn't. This is like me doing like a 12-man. Like this isn't the battle royale.
Yeah. Kubert wanted us to do the big dog. This is the thing too. Like Deez was saying, like I mean, I still want to do a couple of the resurrections and the big dog, but it is there's something nice about being able to rip off these drafts in just a few minutes, versus the. I guess it's more of like a mindset thing. I guess in the off season, like I loved ripping off the full 18-round drafts. Maybe it's just because I haven't put in the work to fully understand kind of like the current ADP landscapes to get addicted to the resurrection ones.
Yeah, I would definitely be ripping them just because I wasn't able to max enter BBM 3. So, I'm still itching. But my biggest, I really wish. I don't know what I've been talking with multiple friends. I need to talk to the Underdog guys about this. Oh, hello, Tyler. Yeah, got a Tessera Discord mod in the chat. Now part-time employee. Big fan of Tyler. He's great.
Is he hopping in the Underdog draft?
I hope so.
One
Waiting
spot
for one
left.
person, so we need you, Tyler. But I really wish that there was for NBA a game mode that was like season long best ball, where you could like I think for NBA there's like this really interesting like design space for fantasy where it's like normal season long where you can add and drop players, but the weekly scoring is best ball, because like the best ball format for NBA is much better because of how often like you have to set your roster and all of this stuff. But there's just like I was looking really hard and I couldn't find a way to do best ball scoring but normal season log like roster construction.
Yeah, that is interesting with it too. And because part of what was so fun about the season-long fantasy basketball was setting up your categories, trying to pick the 5 that you were going to be dominant in each week. So yeah, like some more of a hybrid blend you think might make that more interesting.
I just think like a lot of people I speak to just literally don't have the time to manage. They're like, oh, I love NFL because I set my lineups once a week and that's it. And like with fantasy basketball, it's a lot more because there's so many more games and like you have to be, you can't like with fantasy football on Saturday morning, you can be like, oh fuck, forgot to set my lineup. Let me go in and do it real quick. And you just like literally can't do that for fantasy basketball. You can't have a week where you just go, oh fuck, forgot to
Right.
update things.
Yeah, tight end
wow.
is rough here.
Oh, I know. I mean, the game I was gonna take.
Oh,
Cup.
wow.
I don't love either of these spots for these QBs. I feel like the QBs are just slightly overvalued now.
Yeah.
Because last
Well,
week in
what's
the
the rest
Battle
of the
Royale,
QB slate look like?
so you have Herbert against Cleveland, which is pretty good. I mean, Brady versus Atlanta. I don't love Kyler versus Philly. Goff at New England isn't that great. I guess it is kind of
Lawrence
gross.
isn't bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been playing well in Houston. And I assume everyone's going to want to play that through James Robinson just because Houston's been so bad against the run.
Yeah. Do you think Robinson's touch share last week was just game script?
Probably partly, but I do think it's, I think if you think of Travis Etienne almost like a rookie, you expect for his workload to ramp up. So it wasn't too surprising to me that he flipped him in snaps. But yeah, it was probably mostly game script dependent. What are you going to do here, Deez?
I will not draft Derrick Henry, that's for sure.
There we go.
Who are they playing?
Probably Diggs.
The Commanders?
I mean, I kind of like Tyreek though too.
I do love that Miami Jets game. I feel like that one could go bonkers.
Yeah, I have enough.
Do we know for sure that Tua's not playing?
I don't think it matters for Tyreek.
Okay. I don't think it does either. If anything, it might be better for Tyreek.
Yeah, I mean, he was still getting fed.
He had like 17 targets or something, right?
Yeah.
Am I making that up?
No, I mean, he had like 10 for 160, and I wouldn't have been surprised if he had 6 or 7 more targets on top of that. I mean, the nice thing about the Dolphins is they're just so condensed. Like it's all going through Tyreek and Waddle.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, like
Gesicki's not really getting anything. Wait, you're a Dolphins fan, Deez?
Yeah, I'm really biased to just draft them because I grew up. They were my team. My whole family is Steelers fans, and I was just like, "Fuck you guys!" Like, I can't root for the Steelers. Like, so I just picked the Dolphins.
And that, I mean, talk about for a kid, like that's a rough team. I mean, the Dolphins didn't do much throughout the
no. So I picked them like Dan Marino's last year. I was like 6, and then it was just like I got to go through like the Jay Fiedler saga. And then it was just like
Dante Culpepper for a bit. That was probably like the good years, right?
The corpse of Dante Culpepper. That was great.
Andy, I just realized I said that we were going to draft this together, and then I didn't even consult you on our first pick.
That's okay. I would have taken Justin Jefferson as well.
Okay, good. We'll regroup here for this next one.
I just realized we have Hobbs in here.
How do we like? I feel gross taking Kirk Cousins just because he's really not done very much.
I agree. I don't think we have to force a stack with him. Like I'm fine having Jefferson as a one-off. I don't think we want to take any Bears either.
Yeah, I don't think it's the type of game you want to really load up on a bunch of players.
But like, involve us sniping D's. But like, I would be totally fine, like backdooring, like, Metcalf and Geno or Waddle and Bridgewater, something like that.
Yeah. Wait, am I crazy or is it a little bit wacky that the Saints are 6-point favorites against the Seahawks?
Is it 6?
Yeah.
I see 5.5 on Labs.
I placed a little bet on the Seahawks money line today.
I like that. The
like
one
plus 195.
Yeah, that one does seem off. The one that seemed a little off to me, I took the under in that Pats Lions game where I know the Lions defense is bad, but this is going to be their first game, not in the dome, on the road in New England. The weather's fucking gross here. I think it was 46.5. And it just feels like New England too, if they're rolling out Zappy or whatever, that they're just gonna want to salt that game.
Hey, that's future Super Bowl MVP. Zappy.
Are you a Zappy stan?
I mean, how could you not be?
That's right.
He seemed fine for what he was in that situation.
All right, D's.
This doesn't feel great. I
Yeah,
was
this is a weird week in general. I feel like a lot of weeks have been really low spreads. Like last
yeah.
week, the second largest spread of the week was Jags +6, I want to say. And I mean, this week you got Bills +14, Packers or -14. Packers are like -9.5. There's a couple other like 7s and 8s and stuff. A lot of games that don't seem like they're going to be that close.
Yeah, there's only a few games to me that feel like they could get nutty. Like Chargers, Cleveland, I think could get nutty. Dolphins, Jets, I think could. And then I'm like, maybe Houston, Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'd love to say Arizona and Philly, but I think Arizona just sucks so bad that
Yeah.
I think they're just going to get crushed.
And I would say now too, like I'm always trying to feel like where the tier gap is. I mean, Mike Williams comes off the board. Like looking at these players, like I like Olave, I like Marquise Brown, but this tier here feels so flat. Like all the rest of
Yeah,
the players on the board feel like they're in a similar tier. What are you thinking here, Andy?
it's ugly.
I don't mind James Robinson against Houston just with how bad they are.
That's who I was going to say. And then I think the one other consideration would be trying to do like a Brady and Mike Evans or something.
Yeah.
But I think I like Brady and Godwin. I don't know.
Yeah, Godwin's definitely. I think Evans is gone. Oh shit. Okay, no, I got him. That
That
was
was
close.
close.
Whew.
That was scary. I was scared for you.
Wow.
I thought the Brady was just coming in.
I mean, we would have made it work, but yeah, I think Evans was gone, so it would have had to have been Godwin.
So what do you take here?
Yeah.
Oh, or was
What's
Evans gone?
the
No, maybe not.
was Godwin just ranked higher than him? I
Godwin,
didn't see Evans.
Godwin's still available.
Yeah, Godwin's way down here.
No, he's up. He's like the third wide receiver.
Godwin's up
Oh,
really
there you
high.
are. There you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll. We could play for that. Do you want to just lock up Brady here, or do you want to?
I don't know how I feel about it. I feel okay like going another run, and I don't even know who you take otherwise.
Let's do Gino. Let's just get.
All right.
Let's set something up. I mean, even if we don't get Gino, I think we can still set up another backdoor stack here. The other thing too,
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking. Like I was on this show, the Badge Bros. So those guys have a great YouTube channel and they're focusing exclusively on these contests and just how when it gets super flat too, of being like, you know, a lot of people will have like a similar build to us through 3. Like I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of Justin Jefferson, James Robinson, Tom Brady teams. And basically just saying like, well, what if I, instead of having a 3rd round pick, I just basically pick 2 4th round guys, you know, knowing you're not actually sacrificing.
What's the fucking difference?
There's no difference. And then that combo is going to be much, much more unique.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's the tight end stack look like after, or just like the tight end draft look like after Pitts? Or really, yeah, it's tough.
I'd say
It's like I have to
rewrite
go Pierce or Sanders, and
Pierce or Sanders.
it's just like I go Pierce to go with the environment with Kirk. I think
For sure. I like that little mini
Yeah.
correlation. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. I'd completely missed that. Evans went 12. Yeah. Capital is setting up his game.
He wouldn't have
stack
been
there.
happy if we had taken Brady.
I mean, I guess it's like a fun
You might not
gamble
get
for
him.
him. Yeah. That's a while for him to sit there.
Yeah. That one's tough too, because I mean, like, the Bucs defense is good. I think last week was a bit of an anomaly. That was just like Patrick Mahomes was embarrassed and decided he wanted to fuck with the Bucs.
Yeah.
But like, and the Falcons' offense last week definitely didn't impress me. I mean, I love that they ran the ball. What was it, like 8 times in a row or something, or 13 times in a row?
Yeah. I think Marcus Mariota finished that game with 17 pass attempts. I mean, just something
Yeah.
pitiful.
How long do you think until Desmond Ridder? If it's like 2 more games of Mariota just really struggling?
Yeah. You know, I wonder. The thing is like I do think it's way more like Mariota hasn't been playing good, but it feels way more like Arthur Smith just turtle shelling that offense where I'm excited about Ritter, but even if Ritter comes in, is Arthur Smith going to let him do anything? Or is he just going to have him?
It doesn't change anything for the team.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's insane. The numbers around Kyle Pitts and how much he's playing is like totally insane.
It's so stupid. Deez, are you baking in the Brady divorce narrative to your proprietary models this week?
I'm just overweight on Fournette in a lot of places, and that's my exposure to the Tampa Bay offense.
Yeah.
Not to make a fat Lenny joke there, being overweight or anything, but I just feel like I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm not.
You're chilling.
I'll take any Buccaneer player in Underdog when it falls to me and its value, but I'm not reaching. Tom's old. Why does he still care? Like, because he's the greatest. Like, I don't know.
What you're saying is, if you were Tom Brady, you just kind of retire and vibe out and dab it up and chill.
Yeah, like you just go out on top. You're good. Like
enjoy your autograph equity, your FTX equity. Just have a good time. Do some commercials.
Well, it's funny because I did see someone sent it to me and I can't even remember. There's some other new NFT project. Maybe it is something to do with autograph. And he's like agreed to all of these like meet and greets and stuff as like one of the levels. Maybe we looked at it on the show. And I was like, this man's marriage is on the rocks. It was like a month ago. I was like, this guy's agreeing to go do a fucking bunch of meet and greets as an NFT reward. I was like, this isn't going to work out.
Shout out to Capital with that turn, just the two underproducing players right in a row. So that's a big bet. I like it.
Buy the fucking dip there on the turn. What's so frustrating too with the Pitt stuff is when you do see like his catches, they've been at like the beginning of the game or the beginning of the half where Arthur Smith's like, fine, I hear everyone. I'll scheme one target to him. And then he's like, all right, I did my job. Now I don't have to fucking deal with him for the rest of the game. Pete, are you doing any Brady jet stack for the Zach Wilson narrative correlation? Is this in reference to Zach Wilson's tweet that he'll take care of Giselle? Which I was like, I could see him tweeting that. I also think it could have been Photoshop. Someone tell me, was that a real tweet?
It's got to be fake. It's got to be fake, but incredible tweet. Is Amon-Ra St. Brown definitely playing this week?
Not definitely, but he's also not definitely out.
Okay.
The thing, so with these two, you can draft a guy like Amon-Ra and then set your ranks if he doesn't play.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
The thing is, the Lions have a bye next week, and so I kind of just wonder if they rest Swift and Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is fake. Bummer.
All right, Deez, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm on the fence here. I'm looking at Lockett. I'm looking at Cook. I don't really think I want Cooks and Pierce, but I might. I'm looking at Miles Sanders again, and I'm looking at Freiermuth.
Tight end's got to be getting slim.
Gonna go with
Lawrence?
Sanders. I guess I'm gonna lose Lawrence if I don't take him here, but
maybe not. I don't think.
I would not be mad at all if I ended up with Bridgewater, or honestly some garbage. Like I might get Kenny Pickett. Like who the fuck knows? Like Pickens to Pickett. I don't know.
Dude, Pickens
he's a fucking stud. They just need to throw him the ball.
All right, what are we looking at here, Pete?
So I was looking at something. Would we just want to go all in on this? You get Geno, you get Lockett, and you get Kamara as the bring back.
You think we can get Kamara the last pick?
Yeah,
he hasn't been really getting drafted a lot. I don't know. I also don't think anyone's I think Geno would probably be our last pick.
Yeah. So this would be a Lockett pick here, I think. Well, we can't take Lockett and
Kamara doesn't have any running backs.
What do you mean we can't take Lockett and Kamara? Oh, you're right. We need a tight end.
Yeah, we need a tight end.
I say no matter what, we get the double stack. What do you think?
All right, let's do it. Yeah. Seahawks all the way. Let's go.
You know what we could do? Actually, Andy, what if we Galaxy Brain Taysom Hill as our tight end with Latavius Murray left, Alvin Kamara a little banged up, maybe
Galaxy
Taysom Hill. Yeah. I like the Taysom Hill.
What'd you say, Deez?
Galaxy Brain Juwan Johnson.
No, that's not just
Is that
that's
a
4
galaxy brain?
condoms. That's 4 condoms.
That Chimera went anyway because Sewell was thin.
Let's see. How's the tight end stuff looking on the board? So everyone, Deez doesn't have a tight end. I don't think Deez is going to snipe, but you're not going to snipe us on Taysom, are you, buddy?
No. You're good. You can.
I think Deez wants to actually try to win this tournament. If I had to get,
let's take Gito, because I mean, with these two, we have to have Gito.
I'm just gonna hope Philly.
If we don't get Taysom, we're fine. If we don't get Gino, we're pretty fucked.
I'm gonna see if I get Lawrence or Freiermuth here.
Lawrence falling this far is pretty nice, I feel like.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to double stack him. Snap pick.
Yeah, if Philly took Lawrence, I was gonna take Freiermuth, but I don't even know why I want Freiermuth. I just don't want Conklin. I guess I should have went Conklin in theory, but
I was talking about this with those Badge Bros guys today. Thad mentions the Pickens Shakir combo. So like in DFS this week, Khalil Shakir at 3,200, especially if Isaiah McKenzie misses too, is going to be just total chalk. But then in these contests, like he won't get drafted at all. And Nez from our Deposit Kingdom Discord, he's had back-to-back weeks with huge scores where he took Mac Hollins 2 weeks ago and then Josh Reynolds this week, who again were like chalk DFS plays because they were cheap, but because they were, not projecting as well as, the top 36 players or even, the top 60, they basically go undrafted. And so I've now been thinking about it through that lens of like, who are going to be the super popular cheap guys that no one actually wants to take in these?
Yeah, where it's like they're not even in the top 100 players.
I think a lot of people on Underdog don't even like do DFS outside of Underdog. Like I know there's good overlap, but I do think there's a lot of like casual people who just let it fucking rip.
Yeah.
That's basically where I'm at now. I don't play DFS anymore. I just do Underdog.
Well, and it's also, I think, if you think about like the choose your own adventure nature of like building a lineup, right? Where you have a blank slate, you have all these players to choose from, and you start clicking the buttons and I guess you could say the salary is kind of like driving you, but you still have to make these decisions where I think it's just natural human psychology to get anchored to these ADPs. It feels really bad reaching 10 picks, even though we know that their projection isn't that different. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't want to reach 10 picks for DK Metcalf.
Yeah, that's why I really have liked trying to set, like make my kind of player pool to a certain extent and like train myself to be comfortable kind of taking within different bands of a player pool, kind of regardless of what ADP is, and just like sticking to the like rankings that I set.
Yeah. So you'll set your rankings before you rip a bunch?
Yeah, that's normally what I'll try to do. Is like go in and set, and normally it's not that different than ADP, but just like at least making kind of some mental notes of like these are the players that I'm comfortable drafting at all. And like I should be okay not taking someone near ADP because I've already said that I'm fine to draft them.
Right. It is also funny too, in the same way, like when you draft best ball teams in May and then you go and look back at them and you're like, what was I doing? Or so much change. Even just drafting, like we'll look back at this team on Sunday with like the news and weather and injuries and line movement. We'll be like, what the fuck were we doing? Like so much changes, even just over the course of a few days. ADP
felt fucking disgusting picking Conklin.
Tyler Conklin, D's, I love it.
I felt disgusting, but go with the Tyreek.
I'm surprised you didn't do the
I wasn't gonna do Freiermuth because then I was looking at Evan Ingram and I can't do that. Like that's just disgusting. I can't put Evan Ingram in there.
So D's, obviously Freiermuth is gonna project better, but we have this big game stack. We probably need a nutty Taysom Hill game, right?
We definitely, we're getting a Taysom Hill passing touchdown and a Taysom Hill receiving touchdound.
Yeah, no, maybe a reception. Oh wait, did you say that?
Yeah, I did.
Idiot. I thought you said rushing. I'm an idiot. Just fucking hit me. He's gonna get the triple threat or the triple crown.
Yeah.
This is a pretty fun team. Let's see how Deez has turned out. Lawrence DeKirk. You get Tyreek Hill, Conklin, Mini. Damian Pierce is the bring back on the Lawrence stack, and a one-off Miles Sanders. I like that.
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
Just going
You guys
Miles.
wanted-
Everyone, I think, is going to overdraft Hurts again. Like, people are really hard on those top 3 QBs.
Yeah.
Every week.
And last week, I guess, especially just because we had the weather concerns and that total dropping so much that it was like, all right, maybe these 3 quarterbacks shouldn't all be 1, 2, 3 in ADP.
Maybe.
Do you guys want to do one more 12 person, or you want to rip some Royales?
Let's do a Royale.
Okay. Mix it up. Deez, you hopping?
Yep, I'm watching you. This new fetching draft lag, okay, it's not just me. So I've been joining on my phone to see if it changes, but I thought like something was literally wrong with my browser recently. I thought like I fucked something up, and I was just like, but seeing it happen on your end made me feel so much better.
It's like, you know how if you make a bet at a sports book and sometimes like it gets sent to their vetting or whatever to quickly be like, do we want to accept this bet? And you'll get like stuck in that little purgatory for a second. It's like Underdog being like, do we want to let you guys in this draft or not? Let's just make sure everything's kosher. Okay, fine. Go ahead. All right, little 6-man here. We got our guy Base Frank, D's. Let's see. What do we want to do here from the 4 spot? We're going to have to mix it up just out of boredom, Andy. We can't do another Jefferson.
Yeah. No, yeah. We can't.
The one I did earlier, D's, I took Tyreek Hill early, and then I just set up with them Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Bridgewater, Breece Hall. Just went all in on that game.
I guess this is going to be my Josh Allen exposure.
It's not too bad. I have in my like one keeper league. It's like a rookie. It's like kind of keeper, not totally dynasty-ish. It's weird, salary capped. But I was able. I made some trades and had some good draft picks for the rookie draft this year, and I have Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and so now I just need Zach Wilson to not suck, and they both look really good, just like as players.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Oh, hang on, we are up here. Do you wanna just mix it up with Diggs this time, or something more?
Yeah, I think we gotta.
Diggs is also like Jefferson too, and even Cup at the top, where I don't mind doing those guys as a one-off. You know, like Diggs can certainly have a big game even without that game going crazy. Yeah, I had in one of my dynasty leagues where I thought I was just like so set in the rookie draft last year. I took Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. I'm like, oh, this super flex team is going to be loaded. And then you lose Trey Lance, Zach Wilson. I'm still unsure what we're going to get. I'm cautiously optimistic that he's not going to ruin that team from a
don't want him to
perspective.
ruin my Garrett Wilson shares.
I know.
It was looking so promising with Flacco throwing 60 times a game.
Yeah.
Just want the good old days.
This is my take too, but
Justin Jefferson just went 7. That felt weird. You guys let him go, and everyone else is like, yeah, fuck Justin Jefferson.
I'm good with basically any receiver here up at the top. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm down to go Hill and get a little AFC East content going.
Let's do it. The people need the AFC East content. What round does Trey go next year? Like in Best Ball Mania 3s, people are so sick, man. Like you're not going to get an injury discount. He's going to just like go in the 8th round again. Like, and then he'll inch up to the 7th by the time the season starts.
Yeah. People will hype it up again. They'll be like, oh, well, no, you know.
Yeah.
This year he's going to get 10 more snaps in games that aren't D1 AA.
So Daniel asks, is it completely torching money to not correlate or draft stacks in these 6-pick tournaments? So I would say if you don't have at least a skinny stack with your quarterback, I think that's probably bad. But I don't think you have to force the mini correlations necessarily. Especially if the field is, if everyone's mini correlating, then there's probably a uniqueness angle to not, but it's just so hard to envision getting that ceiling game from your wide receiver and not having the quarterback come along for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, there's very few times where that tends to happen. Maybe like Debo is one of the guys who I don't feel the need to, or like,
do you want to set up the Bridgewater? Yeah,
I think we should do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to check in on what did Deez do? Okay, Deez just going the pure alpha route. Josh Allen, Debo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, easy game.
Yeah, we went with the little Carolina SF stack. It felt like the best option right there.
Yeah.
All right, what do
This
we
is
do?
my first battle royale, so like
probably just taking a running back.
Yeah. So the question: do we want to do? Did Breece Hall already go? No.
No way.
No. He's still here. I mean, do we want? We probably don't have to take him now. I'm just gonna put him in the queue just in case.
Yeah.
And then it would be tight end.
Tight end situation. Do we just take Chalkinson or Goddard and?
We can do Chalkinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's tough. It feels gross chasing points in that game environment, but I don't know. Maybe
I mean, it's not. I don't even think it's necessarily like chasing that much. It's even if last game he put up 15 fantasy points, he still probably would have been the highest ranked tight end this week.
True.
Like, it's not just like pure game script. You're drafting. So he would have been the tight end 5 this week, if not for last week.
Yeah. And it gives us another out too. Like if someone sniped us on Breece and we wanted to go a different direction, we could take one of the Pats running backs too and just hope that game's a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the stomach for the Conklin play like Deez did, which we don't have to since we took Hawkinson.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I just don't feel.
Well, that was more of a 12-man draft play.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Sure. I don't know if we need to go that deep in a 6.
And kind of, what's going on with Kelp Daddy there? What do we think? What do we think that draft was there? We don't have to take our quarterback, Pete. We can just take Breece.
Yeah,
everyone else is already taking a quarterback.
But
then I'd like to go look at what was going on with
Carson Wentz, dude. Naked.
Why did he draft Carson Wentz?
He's vibing.
Kelp Daddy is vibing hard right now.
What a team! Do you think he forgot that Wentz isn't on the Eagles anymore, and so he's going for a little Devontae Smith, Carson Wentz stack? Or
let's see what they do here. I mean, they're clearly taking a tight end because they're going to be forced to take a tight end. Logan Thomas, you got to take Logan Thomas if you take Carson Wentz there.
Do you think it was a misclick?
I don't know. Tyler Higbee. Okay.
Do I
you
go
think
to
he thinks that
Ertz?
Maybe, all right. So here's my theory. Look at Kelp Daddy's team. He has inside information. Carson Wentz is getting traded to the Rams.
Who says yes to that trade, Andy?
I don't know. But
let's see. Wait, why can't am I not able
I went
to
back.
see?
I went with Freiermuth.
Okay, Freiermuth. Yeah.
But he had Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee.
Okay. So maybe he misclicked on Stafford. I assume Stafford was available.
Yeah, I think so.
That is a bummer. You can't look back at the draft board. Let's see. Want to rip another one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could do this all night.
I know.
I'm living vicariously through
We're
this.
born for this.
No, you got it, Andy.
Are there 4 slots filled?
That is I mean, The liquidity on the battle royale rooms is so nice. Like there's no waiting to hop in a battle royale draft.
3 a.m. You just got back from a night out of partying. You're drunk. Open up the app, smash that button. It fills up. You go to bed before you pick your third pick. I've definitely
nothing quite
drafted
like
against
it.
people who I think
Oh,
are in
yeah.
that scenario.
I've definitely been in that scenario before.
And it is wild. Like this contest size for the week 5 battle royale is what like some of the puppy drafts were for the entire off season. And now you're getting weekly
grinders.
250K
badges. I don't even have
prize
a fucking badge. What am I doing?
You got to be getting close, Deez. I feel like you've put in your,
I've
your numbers.
definitely. I don't know what the limit for the badges, but I feel like I would have hit it.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
How did you actually get the badges? What are the?
So it's based on
parameters?
number of contests and how much you won.
Oh, so I'm not winning.
Is it number of like completed contests as opposed to entered? Because like I entered like a shit. Like I have a badge, but it was like
Here
entered.
you go. An experienced player has played in at least 500 contests or won more than 5 contests with a total value of 2,500 or more. A highly experienced player, that's the
We got a
red
draft
badge.
beat.
Oh, my bad. Who do you want?
I don't know.
Should we set up do some with Alan?
Sure.
Fine. Highly experienced player has played at least 1,000 contests.
So,
Yeah, so I've definitely played the contest numbers.
I don't think it's counting the entries I have in best ball, like the season long best ball. So that's probably why I don't. Because I didn't have like 500 last year. And
Underdog. So Underdog needs to. We should get hooked up because I feel like Deez, you should have like your own little avatar with the pipe.
We need a pipe.
Would be,
yeah, so
it would be so sick.
We're in talks about this. There needs to be like a little weekly tournament or something where if you come in the top X%, you get the pipe, or like if you win it, you get the pipe. Like I don't know. Because originally I asked for a hoodie and they're like, no, you can't do a hoodie because like each dog is different. Then you got to design a different hoodie for each dog. And it's like, all right, well, the pipe is the easiest because you can just jam it in there.
Just jam that pipe in. What if you got a dab?
Like just a floating piece of concentrated marijuana,
like on your photo before the show tonight.
that would be a pretty unique one. I like that. I don't know if they'd be in for that. I'm really gonna pick Derrick Henry here. I think I was hoping I'd get AJ Brown. I was really thinking I was gonna get Hurts and Brown here, but didn't work out.
So close, but Clay said no.
I hate Derrick Henry. I mean, whatever. Big dog can run.
So, I think, what do you think here, Deez? I think we can definitely wait on getting like our game stuff with Buffalo and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Do you like?
I don't hate McCaffrey. I do because they're playing San Francisco. Maybe just like Eckler.
Yeah, I mean Eckler. He's not going to play Houston every week, but man, he did look much better.
Do we not like Evans?
I don't think
against Atlanta. It's just too touchdown dependent and just like
Tom Brady's getting divorced. I don't know.
But it's Atlanta. Like
I do think you can worry a little bit about like Godwin coming on, Julio, but I mean he always has that touchdown expectation.
Yeah, So how do you feel about CeeDee Lamb with Jalen Ramsey?
I'm not worried about Ramsey, but I'm never worried. Hang on real quick, Andy. What if we did something a little funky? What if we grabbed Mike Williams and we just say this Chargers Cleveland game is the other kind of like offense that you want in this week? Because I know they're going to be like basically trying to see, can we eliminate, like, I assume most teams that have Eckler and Williams are going to have it with Herbert. But if the Chargers and the Bills are the 2 highest scoring teams on the slate, can we capture the majority of those points? Because we could still get Gabe Davis. We could get Dawson Knox. We can throw in George Pickens if we want to play that way.
Yeah. Do we even want a Steeler? I kind of think
We
the
don't
Bills
have to.
might just. I think the Bills might just win 35-7.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, we do not have to force a bring back at all. Maybe we get a bring back in the
That's
in
what
the
I'm
beginning.
thinking. Like, is there a world where we get like Gabe Davis, Amari Cooper, and Dawson Knox
Yeah,
or something like that?
I think that's very viable. Let's see, Deez. Are you gonna get you Devonta Smith or Goddard?
I was thinking Goddard.
Yeah.
If Sutton doesn't take him, I don't think he will.
Wait, that's crazy. First tight end is so bad this week.
Yeah,
Holy
it's
cow.
horrible.
Yeah.
You're just
I was like, who did you take ahead of him? And they're like, oh, you didn't take anyone ahead of him.
no, it's like the corpse
Yeah,
of
no
Kittle.
Waller,
Pitts.
no Kels or Andrews.
And this is where it goes to like the psychology thing again, right? Where it like feels bad taking, Gabe Davis ahead of Jalen Waddle, but I think it's right.
Yeah, like I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
probably take Drake London with one of my last picks here, and it's like I had to scroll far down, like I had to scroll under fucking Curtis Samuel to get to him, but like he's under Pickens.
I know.
But if only 20 or 30 or I don't know what percent of roster like 6-man drafts are gonna have a Drake London, like 20% less, more. I don't know.
20%
Well, it can't
sounds
be
about
more
right.
than.
No, like what percent of drafts will end with Drake London
Yeah.
actually picked? Like I think like there's gonna be a overwhelming majority where he just goes unowned.
Yeah.
Like if I get Marquise Brown here, and then
the only reason why I do think maybe it could be a little higher than 20% is if you are doing, game stacks.
The Brady's, yeah.
Then and people are so like out on Pitts right now that London's still like your most obvious bring back.
People hate Pitts. I don't blame them. I guess I don't have him in any season long leagues, but I would be really pissed off if I was.
We're all in an abusive relationship with Kyle Pitts, and we keep coming back, or at least some of us do.
Let's see. I had someone ask in the chat what my highest scoring Best Ball Mania 3 team is. I'm checking right now.
The fact I can still.
Let's let some guesses go in the chat. See if
all right, let's see some guesses.
Just for context, I have 76 entries.
Felt better to go at Devontae Smith there, actually.
There you go.
When it came down to it,
that's a fun team. It's a very logical, star-studded team. I like this team too. Allen.
Oh
Eckler,
God, it's
Mike
this team. This team that I have, that's my highest scoring team. It's so bad. But it's it's so bad, but it's actually really good. It's really funny. It's got 578 points.
You want to show it up? Put it up to the screen?
Yeah, let's see if I can. So my quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Carson Wentz.
Okay.
That's a good start.
A good start.
It's a running back heavy. I think the second half of this draft was auto drafted. It's a running back heavy team. So we have Derrick Henry, CEH, Tony Pollard, Ramondre, Rashad White, Raheem Mostert, Zamir White.
Anchor running back with 7. Okay, a little unorthodox, but not horrible allocation.
I have 5 wide receivers.
Okay, now we're in trouble.
But it's Tyreek, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, Amon-Ra, and Corey Davis.
This is one of those teams that if it wins BBM, it's going to alter the conversation for structural drafting next summer.
And then I have 3 tight ends in TJ Hawkinson, Noah Fant, and Logan Thomas.
The Washington stack is paying off.
Hang on. That's what I was just going to say. If we're trying to figure out how this draft got done, to me, the fact that you got Logan Thomas doesn't mean it auto-drafted at the end. To me, you had something come up in the middle of the draft, and then came back and finished it.
I
We're
think
like,
that's
holy
totally
shit.
possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be in a draft and then forget, and then come back and be like, "Oh shit, I forgot I was in the
When you
middle
get
of
the
draft."
notification in the app, you're on the clock, and you're like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
I am. I forgot."
So that's my
team is
highest
crazy.
scoring team.
Yeah, David says with Deshaun and Keenan, basically, well, obviously Deshaun, but Keenan has missed what now? 2-3 games?
Yeah. But then my second highest team has 552, and it's a better team, but
a
it's not
better
that good.
team.
It seems like a lot of my teams that are doing well have CEH.
Because he's doing well.
Yeah, which makes sense.
He's doing so ridiculously well for fantasy.
He just falls into the
Yeah.
end zone twice a game while playing. Awful.
He's getting like a touchdown, it feels like, every 4 times he touches the ball. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know what my highest score is. Let's see. It's probably high 500s. I have a lot of condensation around, like, I guess the 550 to 580 mark. I don't have anything really breaking out of there.
Yeah.
Jennings had a crazy team. I think he's had one that was like 23rd.
Oh, yeah. I should pull that up. Yeah, this team was pretty good. Here it is. I'll pull this up while Deez pulls up his. All right. So
How do I
Jennings,
see how many teams are advancing?
so you have to manually count them when you go to your like BBM3. It'll show you your winnings, and then the 1s and 2s, first and seconds will be at the top. The
Well, I think I'm actually doing pretty well then. If I have 76 entries and 21 advancing.
oh, that's very
Yeah,
good.
that's great. I have
That's
150
really
and I only have like 30 advancing.
So Rammy here, Stafford, Tua, Goff, Dobbins, Edmonds, Hendo, James Robinson, Jamal Williams, Brian Robinson. Pretty sick 0 RB team considering, yeah, James and Jamal carrying you, and you still have some fun stuff coming with Dobbins and Robinson. Wide receiver Cup, Tyreek Waddle got the premium double to Amari, of course, for Jennings. Amon-Ra, league winner. DJ Chark, fun flyer with Goff. Cedric Wilson, a triple stack with Miami. And then, quadruple stack. Wow, with Gesicki and Hawkinson. It's a fun team.
So my newest theory is that I think people should be doing triple tight ends more. And like more actively taking 2 good tight ends and then like a third one who's just like a flyer at the end.
Mm-hmm.
In that, like, you always have to fill 1 tight end slot no matter what. And like just having TJ Hawkinson and Mike Gesicki, like you could have a week where your tight end gets you 1 point.
For sure. Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I feel like there's something there of like, wouldn't that team feel better if you replaced one of those wide receivers with like Mark Andrews?
The counter to that is that because that dynamic exists across the entire league, that if you do have weeks with 1 or 2 points, it's probably unlikely that a bunch of your opponents are also separating from you, because they're probably getting 6 or 7 points at most.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're making those points up elsewhere, it's a tough, like this kind of paradox broke my brain during that, because Osmo had the really good article about like the benefits of 3 QBs, which I think also applies to tight ends, which is, let's say you have the Mark Andrews league winner last year. You show up to the finals, and the majority of teams have Mark Andrews. So yes, Mark Andrews got you there, but in a perfect world, you would be in the week 17 finals without Mark Andrews. Because if Mark Andrews craters and your guy, that's how Liam won. He had Noah Fant. He pulled ahead because of that. And so on that hand, it's like, you don't want you would want the uniqueness of having 2 to 3 guys and having one of those guys be able to go off, or 3. On the other hand, the elite tight ends can separate so much. Like Mark Andrews could just have 30-point stretches. And so then where my like meeting in the middle of the galaxy brain, I was like, what if you had, and I started doing this with quarterback, you have 1 elite guy and 2 other guys with him. So I would do like Herbert with Ritter and Kenny Pickett. So being like, can I have my
Mhm.
cake and eat it too? The ceiling guy, but also maybe a guy who makes it to the finals and is unique.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My thinking with tight end too is also just that like your tight end can fill your flex spot,
Yes.
which is like the one uniqueness there compared to quarterback, where it's like if you have Andrews, Hawkinson, and Mike Gesicki, you can get points from Andrews and Hawkinson every week, and Andrews is just a wide receiver one. Like he's just another really good wide receiver at that point.
Yeah, for sure. That is the thing too. Like, I mean, we do that in season long drafts too, where it's like when you can flex a tight end, if you take Mark Andrews, you just treat them like they're a wide receiver that's going to be in your flex every week. And then you take Gerald Everett because Gerald Everett's going to fill your tight end spot. The problem is like Andrews is really the only guy who I think can reliably be that jacked up wide receiver for you.
Yeah.
It is. It's very fun. And it's like, it's still so crazy to think about how little data we have. Like if you think about best ball season as one DFS slate, which essentially is what it is. We still need so many more data points.
It's very unsolved.
Yeah. What do you think, Des? You want to do one more? Deez, you want to do one more?
I like Des. Yeah, I'm down for another.
We were talking football, and then I was nostalgic for Des Bryant. Apparently,
I just saw a tweet from him, so I was already thinking about him. I have some lineups with 4 tight ends, and like they're still ass. Like my tight ends are like Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, Njoku, and Higbee. And it's like, thank God for Higbee and Njoku who put up serviceable points, but it's like 4 slots.
Yeah,
two of them are just duds.
That's the thing. So many of those guys have super low ceilings. Like that was when I would do my 3 tight end builds. It again would probably be like you take one mid tier and then I would grab Dulcich and Trey McBride, like 2 rookie tight ends who maybe by the end of the season could actually take on an expanded role. But you maybe isn't Des Bryant like pretty into NFTs?
Yeah, no, he's like super active. He has like a whole platform where he tries to onboard athletes into NFTs and stuff. That's
so funny. Is Eric Ebron still into it? He was like, wasn't he into DeFi Kingdoms?
No, he's still into it. He's actually in spaces pretty often. Like I see him down listening in Reg Radio and stuff.
That I got like such respect for those guys because there were so many athletes that came through, just did their rug pulls, smash and grabs, and like the fact that those guys are just still sticking through it with the bear market.
No, like, I literally saw it.
They're just hanging.
It's funny you mentioned Ebron because I literally saw him in a space like a day or 2 ago. I
love it.
It's great.
We need to get we need to check back in with our guy Chris Conley. Get him on the show again sometime soon. He had such good perspective on all that stuff.
Oh yeah, he was great.
All right, let's do another Royale.
Let's hop in. I'm watching your stream and then I'm hopping in based off of your stream.
All right, I'm hopping in.
All right. I know these drafts feel quick. It's just like they fill and they feel quick. I don't know what I said there.
I think we should be good.
It's crazy on Sunday morning if you're trying to get it. We're not in the same draft.
We aren't?
No.
Hang on. Are you already? Did yours fill?
I'm trying to join yours. I want to see if I get in.
Okay.
I'm fetching draft.
Fetching?
Nope. Fuck. I'm the last. Yeah. Oh well. It happens.
We got a few guys in here. I see Bonesai, I see Clay, I see DJ Local.
I got in a fish one. There's only one badge.
That's the
let's go.
That's the way you avoid the badge bros in the overflow draft. That was one of the moments over on our Ship Chasing YouTube channel this summer. We decided, or I was like, oh, I'm gonna hop in one of the Dalmatians, and I hop into it, and a bunch of people pile in. It's the $100. We realize that it's a slow draft, so a bunch of people all piled in. And what was worse is there was an overflow Dalmatian, and there was like the chat comment of the entire summer was someone saying, imagine getting in the overflow Dalmatian slow draft, like just 3 levels beyond what anyone wanted out of that experience.
Brutal.
Coming in with the 3 slot. At least it's a little something different. I got number 1
we're
again
at
in
3 as well.
No, I got number 1 again.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So we've gotten Allen, Andy, we've done Jefferson, and we've done Diggs. What do you
All
want
right,
to do?
hold on. Give me 1 second. I think there's a water leak in Allie's parents' house. I need to go see what's going on.
Yeah, go take care of that.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
See, like, so on an average week, how many of these would you rip off?
So I basically what I normally have not been doing them early in the week because I like doing my DFS research, and then on Saturday I'll do like 15 of them.
Yeah, because like I'm the type where if I start now, like I'm like, man, I gotta like get close to max entering. But if I just do it on Saturday, it's like, oh, it's chill. It's laid back.
Wait, so you're saying like if you pop early, the completist mentality in you wants to max it?
Yeah, I'm like tomorrow during the day, I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm thinking about it. I'm like shooting them off in between meetings.
Luckily, I don't have the max entry bug for these weekly battle royales. Otherwise, that would be bad from a time perspective for sure.
Oh, it's so you have to be firing off like 3 at once too to stay fully engaged. Like if you're
what's the most of these that you can do at one time and still feel like you're making good decisions?
3. I can't do more than 3.
Yeah.
With Best Ball Mania, when I think like Puppy 3 came out and I was doing BBMs, like I was like, oh, let me try like doing a bunch of these puppies and see how it goes. And I tried doing like 5 at once and it was horrible. I was like stacking cross lineups, like, oh fuck, wait, that's the wrong lineup.
You thought you got the stack on
like
one,
I was trying to use my queue so that I was putting like all my stacks in the queue, but then I was just like reaching really far for people because I wasn't prepared for like that pick, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah. Everything good, Andy? You have to go corner?
I think maybe not.
No?
I think maybe not. We'll see. After this, I'll probably have to hop off and go see if I can see what's going on. Yeah, I think a pipe burst in their basement.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah, not
fun.
ideal. No.
I'm laughing because Levitan just tweeted out a screenshot of, remember when those guys all went in on the Triceratops skull? I think it was a Rally Road thing. He says, I for one am shocked that the piece of dinosaur skull I bought during the bull run has failed to return its value. I mean, it's actually holding well. Cost base is 500, worth 38 now. I mean, it could be worse. Should we get
cost base is $500 and now it's worth $38?
Sorry, 380. 380.
It's like, that's not very good.
Sounded like a Top Shot moment at first.
You know what, Andy? Why don't we try the same thesis as that Bills one where what if we capture
just doing Philly and Miami?
In basically treating Arizona maybe how we treated Pittsburgh, where it's like their offense looks so inept. What if just the Philly double stack gets there?
Yeah. So obviously we don't have AJ Brown.
No. But we have options because we have Sanders. We can
get Goddard as well.
Devonta Smith or Goddard.
Goddard feels nice.
Yeah.
And then do we want to jet? Like, do we want to close it off with like Breece Hall?
Yeah. And that's the nice thing if we wait on, because we have flexibility, right? Between like a 2v2 of Miles Sanders, Garrett Wilson, or Breece Hall, like Devonta Smith. Like either of those 2v2s would work for running back, wide receiver.
I think we probably want to take Goddard here though, right?
Yeah. For sure. I think that this is breaking well. These are the was it like last week around this time when the punks were flying off the shelves? Did that die down a bit?
Yeah, it was more contained, I feel like, to just the few high-end buys. We did see like a high-end Bored Ape sell for 700 some, the Trippy King.
Yeah.
There's a couple other, I feel like, high value trades, but not much on the low end was like traded after the big shit. It was just like, oh, like hoodie ape, oh look, zombie. All right. It's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
I guess it's fine. Like I didn't
Any
expect a
activity.
wave of buyers to come in. Like the floor is 66.7, and I think earlier when I looked this week it was like 63. So it's still overall up. It's just
Andy,
What do you think, Sanders or Smith?
I was gonna say we can go either way. If we're not doing a bring back, like we can certainly justify it. Why don't we do Sanders in this one? Because we
Okay.
did like the Sanders, Garrett Wilson, since we did the Brees Hall.
Yeah,
the
I
other
mean now
one.
we can do Brees Hall or Garrett Wilson, really, right?
Yep, for sure. What did you end up doing in yours, Deez?
I ended up with that McCaffrey Samuel block again, but
Yeah.
I went Cooper Kupp 1 overall, and looks like I'm
Okay.
gonna end up with another Kyler and either Marquise or Smith.
It honestly is a testament to how good Cooper Kupp is, where that offense just looks so bad, and yet he can still just dominate.
He's setting his record for receptions in a game where they like fall flat and get shit on.
Yeah, the offense is like anemic.
The running game being as bad as it is surprising too.
That's one I feel vindicated on. Is I like have essentially no exposure to the Rams running backs in best ball. That was one where I was just like, this feels gross. I don't want to touch it.
No Akers and a ton of Henderson.
Yeah, I'm closer to that. Henderson, it was just like definitely a backfield I wanted to play through the cheap route, but even there, it's like, man, Henderson isn't getting much going either.
I'm excited to see Dameon Pierce keep developing.
Yeah, me too.
Playing well. I say we go Garrett Wilson. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm always biased towards the 3 wide receiver builds, but I kind of like this style build here too, where you're just making bets on. I guess we did the mini stack here. Yeah, very similar construction to that other one we did with Eckler, Williams, Amari bring back, and then 3 Bills, and then here 3 Eagles, 2 Miami, 1.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I think one team is going to blow out the other, so I don't even want to think about the other team. And then let me just take a high-scoring game.
And there's definitely scenarios where Hill and Waddle smash, but Jalen Hurts still outscores Bridgewater.
Yeah, totally.
All right, we're gonna let Andy get to this broken pipe here.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like canoeing tonight in the basement or something. Who knows?
Jesus. Deez, thank you for swinging by, man. It was good to catch up with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Anytime you want to do dabs and drafts, just let me know.
That's right. I mean, there it goes. We'll stay tuned for whatever Underdog cooks up with you. Got to get that pipe. I know Jennings was bummed to miss this one, so yeah, we'll get you back on soon for the crew, and we can do this again.
Okay, hopefully I'll be in New York next time.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Andy, anytime you want to live vicariously through my Royales, you're welcome to. Thank you guys for hanging out in the chat tonight. Hope you guys all crush the Underdog contest this week. We'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.